Welcome back. Reparenting the unwanted newborn within us. Some of us were born into the world unwelcomed. We didn't arrive with joy or preparation or open arms. We arrived to tension, to silence, to shame. Not because we did anything wrong, but because the adults around us were too hurt, too lost, or too overwhelmed to receive us. And so we learned before we could even speak, I am a problem. My presence is too much. I make life harder for people. And we carried that belief, not just in our minds, but in our bodies. We carried it into adulthood as tight chest, racing thoughts, and constant urge to apologise for simply existing. This wound doesn't stay in the past. It shows up when we try to connect and something in us whispers, don't get too close, they'll leave. It shows up when we succeed and we sabotage it because something says, you don't deserve this. It shows up when someone offers love and we freeze because love feels foreign, unsafe, suspicious. When this wound interferes with emotional sobriety means we respond to life from our adult self, not from the wounded parts still wanting to be rescued. But the unwanted newborn still wants to be held, still wants to be claimed, still wants someone else to make the pain go away. So what happens? We start unconsciously looking for others to reparent us. The partner who will finally love us enough. The friend who will never abandon us. The therapist who becomes too important. The spiritual teacher we idolise. And when they don't give us the love we craved, we spiral. Because the infant inside says, see, no one stays, not even now. That's when emotional sobriety slips and we start chasing, performing, or shutting down. What we can do to begin reparenting those parts of ourselves. Allow yourself to grieve what you never got. You can't skip this. You must mourn the mother who couldn't mother. Maybe the father who didn't show up. The first birthday no one celebrated. The baby blanket that never came. Grieve it with tears, with journaling, with breath. Because that wasn't your fault. But it still deserves your compassion. Stop outsourcing your healing to others. You can't keep handing your newborn to strangers and hoping they'll know what to do with it. They won't. No one else is responsible for loving your inner child. You are. Say it out loud if you need to. I am the one I've been waiting for. Make reparenting a daily practice, not a concept, not a hashtag, a practice. Feed yourself gently. Keep a bedtime. Speak kindly to your reflection. Say no when you're overwhelmed. Ask every morning, what does my inner child need from me today? Invite the sacred into your healing. You may call it God, Allah, divine, love, or simply higher power. But let the soul of your child know there is something bigger than the trauma, bigger than the shame, bigger than the history. Because you weren't just born into pain, You were born for healing. To the part of you that was never welcomed, I want to say, you were always worthy of a hug. You were always meant to be sung to. You were always somebody's joy, even if that somebody is you now. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to belong. You are allowed to begin again. Let reparenting be the revolution that brings you home to yourself.